I feel like I owe you guys, I don't know, about a million fragrance reviews, so that's what we're gonna be doing today. This is kind of a collective haul, collective review of tons of fragrances that have come out in the last like 2-3 months, maybe? I don't know, it feels like it's been a long time. And I know a lot of you guys have been asking me for my thoughts on some of these, so I'm excited to give them to you. And this is a special treat to all the gourmand lovers because there are a lot of vanillas, a lot of gourmands, just warning you up front, but let's get into it. We're gonna start with the new-ish Rare Beauty perfume. I feel like this has been out for a while, so, you know, I'm very behind here, but I definitely have thoughts on this. I'll start with the perfumes and then I'll get into the layering balms because these are kind of a, oh my gosh, different kind of product. Now, when I saw that Rare Beauty was launching the Rare Eau de Parfum, I was very excited. The notes on this looked so good. In the top, there's caramel, pink pepper, and pistachio. In the mid, there's vanilla, ginger, cocoa, and then sandalwood, musk, and tonka bean in the base. Like, those notes sound great, right up my alley. Very excited. And the moment I sprayed this, tell me why all I got was Burberry Goddess. Like, seriously, this is almost in dupe territory of Burberry Goddess, which, don't get me wrong, I really do love that fragrance. It's actually one of my favorite designer fragrances. I don't have a lot that I love, but I really do love that one. So I'm glad it's similar to a DNA that I do like, but again, very similar, so similar in fact that I definitely don't think you need both. And when I really look at the notes, you know, there's ginger in here, there's the cocoa, there's vanilla. I guess that's what's doing it. There is no lavender though. That's a big part of the Burberry Goddess fragrance. So I just wasn't expecting that, but this is potentially maybe a little more sugary than Burberry Goddess. It's a nice vanilla. It almost has a designer DNA background to it. And considering the price point of this, $75, it is more affordable in that way. So again, could be nice. I just wanted something different. I felt like there was an opportunity for this to be a vanilla that was a little different than other things out there. But again, very similar to Burberry Goddess, okay? It's like a dupe. It's a dupe. But with the layering balms, I guess you can get something different. Now, these are, I feel like, a very unique product. I know I at least have not experienced fragrance balms before. There's like oils and solid perfumes, but these have a texture almost more like a primer. If you've ever used one of those kind of smoothing silicone primers, that's what these feel like. It also kind of gives a little Neosporin, not gonna lie. Now, there are 4 different scents. I have 3 of them because when I bought these, what feels like oh so long ago, the bergamot one sold out like crazy. I think it might have even sold out on the Sephora preview, like the day before it technically launches in store. I think it sold out then. Like, I even asked an associate at Sephora and she was like, it was like one of the top performers, top sellers, like ever. Who knew bergamot was gonna be the one that everyone loved? Like, I don't know if you know why that one sold out, tell me. But the other 3 that I have, there's a floral peony blossom, there's woody oak, and then there's amber vanilla. And of course, the amber vanilla is my favorite. This is almost more of like a woody vanilla, and it does kind of remind me of Byredo's Vanille Antique. It's definitely in that vein, and I do think it's a cool idea that by using these balms and then layering it with the Rare fragrance, you can kind of get a customized version. I also think, depending on the person you are, maybe you aren't as into fragrance. I mean, obviously, if you're watching my channel, you probably are, but I do feel like on their own, these also kind of work in a more subtle way if you want a fragrance that's going to be closer to the body and kind of function essentially as a solid perfume. I also do like the packaging. They're metal tubes. I will just say, you know, be careful how much you squeeze out because it will just keep pouring out product, you know. If you've ever had anything in a metal tube like this, and you know what I'm talking about, like the potential issues. Anyway, back to the scent. The amber vanilla is really nice. It's like a warm, like slightly sweet, a little bit woody, ambery, sensual kind of scent. The floral peony blossom is my least favorite. It is kind of a powdery floral. I mean, if you're into florals, you might like it. I feel like although it's peony, there is a powdery quality to this that doesn't make it as like fresh as sometimes peony can be, at least to my nose. So ranks 3rd for me. And then in the middle here, this is the woody oak. And this one has like notes of patchouli, oak moss, and then there's some dry woods in here too. And honestly, initially with this fragrance, it smells like a forest scent, like a fir scent, fir balsam, like I'm getting Christmas tree. But in the dry down, that patchouli comes through and it does turn a little bit more, I would say on the unisex side, like there's something kind of cologne-y coming off. It's like a deeper green scent with a little bit of spice to it. So very nice. I just appreciate kind of something a little bit different with these. And I think all of them are very likable. Again, there's like a customization aspect. It's like its own system in a way. That being said, I think I would always choose my Burberry Goddess over this. So to me, maybe not worth it. I just think it it could have been so awesome to have a new fragrance to sniff. That's what I was expecting, but not what I got. And then with these, I just feel like they're for who they're for. If you feel like you're gonna use this format and you like a scent, they could be nice, and I like that they're just a little bit different. From there, let's talk about Phlur Cherry Stem. This was sent to me from the brand, and I did do a short initially when this first came out talking about it, but I don't feel like I've talked about it really since or in a bigger video, so I definitely wanted to mention it because as a cherry scent, I really do like this. There's something about it, although I definitely get the red cherry, something kind of juicy. I also get something almost like a deeper cranberry juice. Like, I don't know why, but I get cranberry juice, okay? Like a nice, deep, rich, expensive, like really high quality cranberry juice from this, which I think is helping make it not smell necessarily medicinal cherry to me, which I'm grateful for. And there's also a leather note in here that I think just makes it a little sexy and deepens it up, but it's very wearable. It's not too dark, but just enough for the colder weather. And I think this would make a great fall scent if you're into a scent like this. And I think if you're into cherry at all, you should definitely check this one out. I really was shocked by how much I like this. I was worried I was gonna like it less than I do, but the notes on this: black cherry, brandy, and orange in the top, sugar, jasmine, plum, and red freesia in the mid, ebony, leather, and caramel in the base. A very solid cherry fragrance. I definitely think it's worth checking out. Some new vanilla fragrances that are on the market. This is Buttercream Haze from the Seven Virtues, and I also have the Noyz Only Human. These were both sent to me. I'll talk about the Buttercream Haze first. I was really excited about this, and also don't mind the fact that I'm using paper. Literally, they're on the way to me. They should be delivered today, but they're not here yet, so the show must go on. I was so excited to get such a gourmand fragrance from the Seven Virtues. I know everyone loves Vanilla Woods. I want to like that scent so much, but on my skin, it just turns spitty, okay? It turns into grandpa's spit on my skin, which is just not what I'm personally going for. Unfortunately, it's so sad because on its own, on a test strip, it smells great, but I play myself every time I try to wear it. I keep going back. I keep hoping something will change, but not yet. Anyway, with Buttercream Haze, I was so excited because these are the notes: buttercream, vanilla in the top, maple, caramel in the mid, and tonka bean in the base. Sounds so delicious. And this is a straight up gourmand. It almost comes across a little like bready. There's like almost a pancake. The maple is giving a little maple syrup. And I don't know what it is. I almost feel like there's like a floraliness or something. Like I get something a little bit different in this. So it's different than all the other fragrances. I'll give it that. All the other vanillas that have come out. But there's something about that little something I cannot quite describe in here. Again, it almost comes across florally to my nose, but looking at the notes, there's no florals in here. And so that aspect, combined with the fact that it does go gourmand in this almost like bready pancake way instead of just like icing. Like I want the icing, I want the buttercream, I want the vanilla, not as much of the maple syrup, not as much of maybe like a pancakey kind of base. And I feel like I get that as well. So I think a lot of people are gonna like this, and I'm not even saying I don't like it. I think there's just so many other vanillas I do prefer over this one. I'm still going for the full wears though. I'm really trying to make this one work for me, but it's just not in the top tier. It's kind of just in the middle. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on it though if you've smelled this, because it's definitely sweet and it's one of the most gourmand scents I've smelled from the Seven Virtues, which was very exciting. As for Noyz Only Human, I really quite like this one. This is more of an ambery vanilla, more of a skin scent. It sits close to the body. It smells really good and definitely has a nice sweetness to it, but there's also a woodiness. It's just really nice. Think of if like Glossier did a vanilla type of scent. It also reminds me a bit of amber vanilla from the Seven Virtues. It reminds me a little tiny bit of mochi milk from Deadcool. Not exact, but kind of in that realm, but more skin scenty. It's more like amber vanilla than it is mochi milk. Very, very nice though. Some of the notes on this: ambroxan, vanilla, cedar, pink pepper, bamboo, water lily, and bergamot. Yeah, if you're looking for like a vanilla skin scent, even something kind of like Vanilla Skin by Phlur. I do feel like so many brands are trying to create their vanilla skin, you know what I mean? And I think Noyz did a really good job with this one. I think a lot of people are gonna like it. I've seen a lot of hype for it, and I think it's well deserved. I really like this one. Definitely a recommend. Another perfume I wanted to mention that I talked about in that short, but really haven't talked about, I don't feel like, in a video, is the newest fragrance from Forever Mood. This is She Was Here. And the reason I wanted to mention it is because this is like a rose, gourmand, vanilla, pistachio scent. And if you're looking for something that has a little bit of rose, but still has like a sweetness sweetness to it, something a little bit sexier, something for the colder weather. I do think this one's good, and I think I'm surprised by it every time I wear it, because when I initially smell it, I'm like, it's not sweet enough, it's not this, it's not that. But as soon as I actually go in for the full wear and it sits on my skin, I'm like, damn, that smells so good. I really love the way that it just dries down and kind of warms up on the skin. It's really great. And you know, I'm not the biggest fan of rose. That's in there. And again, on like paper, initially, that's what I get, but those sweeter notes really come out, and it's really growing on me. So notes on this: pomegranate and elemi in the top, Turkish rose, vanilla, pistachio, and milk in the mid, and then amber and suede in the base. I think it's just a great combination of something that definitely gives me the sweetness and the gourmand elements, but it also is a little bit more serious with the suede that's in here, with the rose that's in here. So I don't feel like it's just only sweet. Like, I feel a little put together as well, a little sexy. But then on the other end, it's also not too much and like too strong, too niche, too much, you know what I mean? It's a nice balance, and I think it's one to check out. Let me know your thoughts on this. I want to know your thoughts on all of it. And I know the Sephora sale's coming up, so it might be one to check out then. Kind of random one. This is not a new fragrance, but I thought I would just, you know, talk about it. This is Vanilla Musk from Nemat, and I got this during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty. I did a video on that if you guys check that out. So I think this is the only one I picked up during the wholesale. I have this in the fragrance oil, and I've actually been mixing that with a body oil at night, and I'm actually going through it. I mean, it's a tiny little bottle, but it was sitting for a while. I've really been enjoying it that way, and I think honestly I might enjoy the oil more than the fragrance. This is quite light, so I definitely go in when I'm gonna spray it. It smells like a nice musky vanilla, kind of reminiscent actually of Indult's Tohoda, but super watered down. So imagine that scent, less thick, but a similar kind of profile of a vanilla, at least to my nose. I don't know if the fragrance is as much worth it. Again, I really feel like the oil just gets the scent across a little bit better, and now that I've found a way to kind of mix it and use it, and would mostly probably wear this at night anyway, it really fits into my routine that way. So I don't know if I would pick this one up again. I say go with the fragrance oil. I just wanted this to be more concentrated, and it's quite light overall as a vanilla, so if you want something lightweight that's not going to be too much, it could still be good for that. I do have some niche perfumes that I've been testing out. All of these were sent to me from Twisted Lily, so you can always use my code over there to sample any niche perfume, sample these perfumes, buy bottles, whatever you're gonna do that is affiliated. But I thought I would give you guys some thoughts on these just in one big video if you wanted to get caught up on how I'm feeling. I'm gonna start with Powder Love, because again, I did a short on this, which I've been trying to add some more shorts in. It's a little bit different for me as a YouTube girly for like 10 years now, you know, but my first impressions of Powder Love, it gave me like powdered candy. There's a powdery sweetness coming off, and also something kind of diaper baggy. Like the powderiness that this has goes a little in that territory, but the sweetness counteracts it enough that it's just kind of clean, a little bit fresh, but like fresh powdery, you know what I mean? Notes on Powder Love: cotton candy, marshmallow in the top. Those ones were what I was so hopeful for and what I wish just stayed throughout. But then in the mid, there's orange blossom, candied almond, and then in the base, there's musk, ambroxan, and tonka bean. So I put a big spray on when I first wore this, and I will say throughout the day on this fragrance, it just got powderier and less sweet overall. And if the sweetness stayed, I feel like I'd like it more. And don't get me wrong, I put a lot on, but it was just getting powderier and powderier. I'm telling you, I'm like, oh my gosh, should I like dunk myself in baby powder? Which is just not quite my vibe. I know a lot of people are gonna love it, and my God, it's called Powder Love, okay? Like, the name is telling you everything you need to know, girl. That being said, I have been pairing this with some other fragrances just because I want something else in the dry down. Again, I like that opening, I like the beginning, but when we get to the end here, I need some sweetness to counteract the powderiness. Like, I can do a little, but not only. So I've been pairing this with 1111 Vanilla from Lake and Sky. I really like that combo. One of the ones I'm gonna try as well is the Bougie Marshmallow from Kayali, which you guys know I like. I think those could be cute together, and not to mention all the bottles look so freaking cute together. So that's how I'm testing it now. A little bit of, you know, an update on my first impressions from that short. So I feel so torn on this one. I just wish that sweetness stayed, and I would like it so much more. If you're a fan of like Kirky, like a big fan of Kirky, huge fan of Kirky, I feel like you might like this. They're not the same at all, but I just feel like the same person could like both those fragrances. And don't get me wrong, I do like Kirky, but a lot of the times I mix that one as well. So, you know, kind of similar thing. If you're someone who does love a powdery scent though, you like a baby powder clean scent, I think it could be one to check out for you. My absolute favorite one out of the bunch, you guys, and I hate to say it because this one is pricey, but it is so good. Okay, I'm obsessed with this. This is vanilla powder from Matiere Premiere. And I'm telling you, if you want a grown-up sexy vanilla, this is the way to go, okay? I think it smells so good. There's a deepness to it, but kind of in a similar way to She Was Here. When I first put this on, I'm like, it's not sweet enough, it's not whatever, but then it kind of develops, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, it smells so good. I think this is just one of the sexiest grown-up vanillas that I've ever experienced and smelled, and I just didn't even know this was possible, I guess. Like, I can't believe how much I truly love this as a vanilla, not as like some other iteration, not as like a woody vanilla, a boozy vanilla, a deep dark vanilla. Like, it's just a very intense vanilla, really, but it's rich in a way I just haven't quite experienced before. It's sexy, it's grown up, it's perfect for fall. I'm so into it, and even when I want just that little bit more of like a sweeter, lighter, airier vanilla, I will put it with Happy Dust from Narcotica, and those together I feel like are just absolute perfect combo there. The notes on vanilla powder extrait are vanilla, tonka bean, coconut powder, white musk, and palo santo. I do get a little bit of the coconut powder, and I've worn this and gotten compliments, and people have told me that it does smell similar to the original vanilla powder, like they can smell that coconut. And I am not as familiar with the vanilla powder original, so I can't tell you my thoughts, but I thought I would include that. Just perfectly sweet, sexy, strong. It lasts a really long time. It has great wear. It's just kind of the ideal like niche vanilla perfume. To me, this is like what I'm looking for when I'm gonna add a niche perfume to my collection. Like, I want the longevity, something that's distinct, something that evokes like a different emotion than other things I maybe have in my collection. Like, I just think this is a great addition. I'm very happy to have it. Out of all three of the niche perfumes I'm talking about, this is definitely the one I recommend, the one that I've been wearing a ton, and I do have a dent going. Now, a vanilla extrait perfume I was so excited for, but I just think falls a little flat compared to the original for me, because I do love the original Vanilla Haze from Fugazzi, but the extrait from them, it's just really not sweet at all. Like, I do not pick up on the vanilla. That's not the part that was being extracted, if you will. I really initially pick up on more of something spicy and warm. It has a little bit of sweetness, but again, I wouldn't just like classify this as a vanilla necessarily. I don't know, there's like a spiciness, again, something kind of saffron, almost something kind of latexy. It is more intense, but I just don't feel like it intensified the sweetness necessarily, or again, to me, the vanilla aspects in here in the way that I guess I was hoping. I really love Vanilla Haze, the original. It's this custardy, sweet, delicious vanilla, but it's not just straightforward. I mean, it does have its little quirks and elements and facets and whatnot, and I just really love that one. So I was so excited to see how the extrait was gonna play, but out of the two, I definitely recommend that one, and my thoughts have stayed the same. I talked about tons of great vanillas for fall in my last like full-blown video on the channel, and I did mention my thoughts on these because they were kind of new and they fit into the video, but since then I've just solidified the fact that vanilla powder extrait is the way to go. Really, really love this. I'm gonna briefly mention these from Lattafa. I did a whole video on this like cupcake collection. I think it's called the Give Me Gourmand collection, and the only one, I mean, spoiler, you can go check that video out if you want. I'll leave it linked. But the only one I remotely recommend is the Mallow Madness, and that's because it smells like the Kayali Yum Bougie Marshmallow. So, you know, if you're looking for a similar fragrance to that, but don't wanna buy the Kayali one, I guess, or want a cheaper fragrance, this could be an option, but I would just go with the Kayali personally. And then from the Eclaire collection, I did get the Banoffi, and this is the other, like, again, remotely close one that I would repurchase or suggest. It's fun, and I'm always attracted to a banana note, so, you know, there's that, but I don't know if this is gonna be the most used perfume in my collection, and it's still one of my top picks out of everything I tried. So just a bit of a recap on these. And then one of the most fun, kind of ridiculous, but you know, I am who I am. I saw this on the Ulta website, okay? This is a Squishmallow perfume. You know, the fact that it has this going on, which let me not spray my eye, because I have tried to get this thing to go on and spray in the front. I don't know how many times. Let's see if I can do it on camera. No, it always goes to the back. So I don't know if the threads aren't lined up, like if it's never gonna be possible to get it to go on right, or if I could just no, I think it will never. It literally will only go on basically backwards. Okay, anyway, this is the Squishmallows Whisked Away perfume with Cam the cat. This is what got me. It's still not even that good. It's relatively affordable, and this is a vanilla scent, so I was like, I gotta try it. Like, I'm sure one of you is curious, right? It's not just me, I don't know. Maybe if I read the notes, you'll understand more why I was like, well, let's try it out, okay? It has notes of caramel milk, cinnamon, orchid freesia petals, and white peach in the mid, vanilla vanilla sandalwood, cafe latte, and a squishmallow accord. And you know, considering everything, I actually don't think it's too bad, except for the fact that it sprays backwards. But I will say it does come with another atomizer option, so you don't have to be stuck with this one if you don't want, which I do appreciate. And it came with just a regular screw cap on it. If we're just talking about scent though, definitely not an expensive smelling scent, very sugary. Okay, off the bat right now I am getting a little bit of acetone, which could just be the alcohol to it, but it's more of like a watery, creamy kind of scent. Like I know a lot of the notes in here, the caramel, the milk, the vanilla, the cafe latte, even the squishmallow accord, which I'm assuming is kind of something marshmallowy. Those all come across very creamy, but I find this to be more of that like showery whipped cream kind of smell, which kind of turns into something a little, again, kind of waxy, powdery. It's not horrible. It's just definitely not refined. It's not expensive smelling. Like I think a lot of the different variations of body mist that come out from Bath & Body Works or Victoria's Secret, they have a lot of vanillas right now, can give you something similar to this, you know what I mean? But I feel like this is obviously about the packaging. Like this is obviously about how cute it is. I really hope I'm just the only one that has an issue with the sprayer, because I do think that's a big draw to this fragrance. Like, hello, how cute. But again, if this is your vibe, which is very specific and no judgment, I get it. Hello, I have it. But I think this would be best maybe for like someone who's younger, you know? That's who I think it really works for. But you know, your girl has a squishmallow. You know what I mean? Your girl has a squishmallow, so. Okay, I thought I was onto body mist because I didn't realize, like, hello, I have a bunch of other perfumes. They're just in travel sizes. They just don't take up as much space, so. Let's talk about these and what I think would be worth a full bottle purchase or not. A scent that really surprised me in a good way is from LoveShackFancy. This is Secret Crush, and when I saw the notes that they were all vanilla leaning, I was very excited because I really like these bow bottles, okay? I think they're so cute, and when they first launched, I was so excited to hopefully like a fragrance, but none of them were good enough. I was like, no, not worth just the bottle. But Secret Crush has me definitely tempted to pick it up. The notes on this: chantilly cream, whipped cream, vanilla, coconut milk, sandalwood, champagne, and white musk. And I do think that notes list really lets you in on this fragrance. The champagne, I think, gives it a little bit of brightness and lift. It almost smells like a vanilla that might have like a salt note in it. It is creamy, it is sweet, it's like girly, but the creaminess again is not dense and thick. It is more watery and showery, a little translucent. It dries kind of powdery, yet still a little milky and sweet, like even sweeter than initially going on. And I don't know, I really quite like this one. Super easy wear. I don't know if it's necessarily like revolutionary, but I quite like it. And if you're into vanillas, I would check this one out. I'm considering a bottle of this, especially during the Sephora sale. We'll see if I end up getting it. Genuinely surprised by that one. Next is Vanilla Salt from Ellis Brooklyn. And I think this is another great vanilla, definitely a salty vanilla. It gives me something that's akin to a beachy scent, but it doesn't go into the florals. It doesn't smell sunscreeny. It really just smells like a salty, kind of watery, creamy vanilla. There's something kind of lightweight and fresh and kind of breezy about it that I really appreciate. And I think it's a vanilla that definitely plays well like all year round if you really want to, like more of a signature scent. But I think in the hotter months, if you still want to wear something vanilla, this could be a way to do it without feeling like choked out or like having something too cloying on you. Top notes: sea salt, watery notes. Mid notes: whipped cream, ylang ylang, and jasmine. And then in the base, vanilla, benzoin, musk, and woody notes. And between the two, because I feel like these seem kind of similar, at least somewhat, since I described the LoveShackFancy one as being a brighter and almost akin to a salty vanilla. This one's definitely sweeter, and I would say overall more creamy and milky than the Ellis Brooklyn. And this one, although definitely has a sweetness, you can smell the saltiness as well in this one. If you like something like Juliette Has a Gun vanilla vibes, it's kind of in line with something like that, and it's a little more refined, just to give you an idea. But I love both, and I'm considering a bottle of both of these. Finally, talking about the new Ledda fragrance. This is 8 Café Josephine. I did just go with the travel size on this. This is the first travel size that I've bought, and I have to say it was really nice. It came in this little pouch, just came with the travel on its own, which I appreciated. But I feel like this is the one I probably should have got a bottle of. Like, I'm telling you, this is one of my favorites from the brand so far. It is a coffee scent, as the name would suggest, with cafe, but I really like the way that the coffee was done in here. I feel like coffee can be kind of hit or miss, and it is a very distinct kind of fragrance to wear. When coffee is so heavily featured in the notes, it can sometimes smell like you've spilled coffee on yourself. But what I really love about this is the way that the coffee comes across is very similar to Acro's Awake, which is like a vetiver, almost kind of a green coffee. It's very sharp. I don't know, I love that fragrance. I think it smells so good. And this is done in a similar way, but then it actually has sweetness. I feel like Acro Awake really isn't that sweet. You know, you'd have to layer something on there to get that. This puts it all together. Full list of notes: almond and coconut milk in the top, brown sugar, milk, coffee, and espresso in the mid, Madagascar vanilla, caramel, amber, and sandalwood in the base. I really like the strength of that coffee. Again, there's like a sharpness to it that reminds me of almost like a Sharpie coffee. I know that sounds really bad, but I mean it in the best way. And then as you wear, that kind of dies down and you just are left with something sweet and yummy, vanillic. It's really great. I highly recommend this if you like a coffee scent. You're gonna definitely need to like a coffee scent, but very, very good. Very happy. For more gourmands, of course, I have Brown Girl Jane's Chalet, which I really, really love. Another one I'm considering the full size of. I'm like, let me maybe get through my travel size first and then I'll pick it up. But I feel like Brown Girl Jane just does gourmands really well. And Chalet kind of reminds me, actually now that I'm thinking about it, it kind of reminds me of Vicious Cacao from Maison Tahiti. I really quite like that, but this is just a little more well blended and doesn't come across as like powdery or like harsh to my nose. It still has that kind of DNA that they do. I get a bit of that kind of like buzzy, I guess is what I call it, but it's kind of powdery DNA in this one, but this is like a chocolate, almost kind of boozy scent. Full list of notes in here: white chocolate truffle, plum in the top, champagne and jasmine in the mid, cocoa, vanilla, and sandalwood in the base. I feel like it's almost hard to describe because although it's very gourmand, I don't have like an exact scent that I think it smells like or an exact food that I think it smells like. It's just sweet and yummy, but again, a little refined as well. There's something a little bit different. I think that champagne adds that. I think even the plum is adding something, but by no means is this fruity at all. It's just really good. Highly recommend. Definitely check it out. I am for sure considering a bottle of this one. For a designer vanilla, I just had to get my nose on because I feel like I was hearing some hype and seeing it. And I would say designer fragrances are a little bit harder for me. So I was like, let me give this one a chance. And by the way, what I'm talking about, this is La Vie Belle Vanille Nude, okay? La Vie Belle in general is just very popular. And I like that one for everyone but me. Like, I just don't want to wear it on my body. I can smell it and think it smells nice. I can smell it on other people and enjoy it, but it's just definitely not a fragrance I'm gonna be wearing. But I was hoping the Vanille Nude would be, you know, the flanker for me because the notes on this are solar notes, jasmine, bourbon vanilla in the mid, white musk, and sandalwood. I'm telling you, the marketing made it seem like you're gonna be in a French patisserie, okay? You're gonna have macarons and pastries around you and all that stuff, and you know, definitely highly marketing on that. I will say it is a sweeter and more vanillic version of La Vie Belle, so if that's what you're looking for, it could be something to check out. And sometimes when I smell this, sometimes when I wear it, I want to trick myself and be like, yeah, you know what, that is for me. Like, I think that is good, but if I'm being realistic, I don't know if it's quite full bottle worthy for me. That La Vie Belle DNA that comes through, to me, it's still there. And I would rather go for like a more straight up gourmand personally, just with my preferences and whatnot. But if you're looking for something that kind of toes the line between a little bit sweeter but you still want it to be grounded with some other stuff, not just like cake and vanilla, maybe one to check out for you. I really was trying to be organized for this video, but I feel like I'm just not, so bear with me. But the last roller balls or like travel sizes I have to talk about are from Skylar, and some of these are from the Scent Club, so I'll talk about these very briefly. But their new fragrance, this is Double Date. I definitely want to get my nose on, so I just bought the rollerball. I do think, you know, a lot of people are gonna like this. It's very sweet, it's very yummy, and you know, with the name like Double Dates, I immediately was thinking about Sticky Dates from Lush, and I gotta tell you, this to me does dupe specifically the Sticky Dates scrub. There's something about the scrub that smells different than Sticky Dates in the body wash, than Sticky Dates in the body mist. It's my favorite version of Sticky Dates. There's something about it that almost smells a little boozy, almost like a vanilla extracts in there. Like, it's so good, and this smells like honestly spot on identical to me. Like, kind of once again a little bit of dupe territory, but since it's not a perfume, I don't necessarily mind it. Now, the notes that I have for this are just dates, brown sugar, and toffee. So, you know, again, I just feel like so similar to that Sticky Date scrub, and if you wanted a perfume to literally match it perfectly, this would be the way to go. That being said, very sweet, and although I really do like it, I don't know if I want the full-size perfume of this. I haven't decided. Like, I wouldn't mind it, don't get me wrong, I love a gourmand and I do like the smell of this, and I kind of want to see what it'd be like to just get that full body mist going, because I do think there's something to that experience over a rollerball, which is what the Skylar scents have. But I haven't decided if I want the full bottle yet, but very good. I definitely think you have to like that sticky date scrub. If you've smelled that, then you know exactly what this smells like. Quickly going through the other ones, I don't know which months these necessarily came out in. I think the most recent one is Black Sugar. This has notes of heliotrope, bergamot, and sugar in the top, rose, sandalwood, and sugar in the mid, and then vanilla caviar, molasses, and amber in the base. I think that molasses, the vanilla caviar, and the sugar were what they were really promoting this one as, and it's very sweet. I do pick up on some of the molasses, which actually gives me almost a kind of maple syrup. I'm telling you, there's something kind of mapley coming off of here, but not a bad one, and I can tell that they've definitely been doing more gourmands in the scent club, so it makes me wonder if they're kind of using this as testing. They've done that before, but then I feel like they just haven't launched much. I know they've kind of relaunched or rebranded with their 2.0 and having a new creative director and all of that, so I'm interested to see where they're gonna go, I guess, is what I'm saying with all this. One of the funnest ones was banana candy. I kept keeping it in my drawer to talk about because I was like, it's so fun. I don't know if a scent like this would actually do well, but I do think it's a very likable banana scent. It kind of reminds me of Boardwalk Delight from them, but with a banana twist, so I would love to see this in a full size. I guess this was July's scent club. So the notes on this: bergamot, green banana leaf, coconut water. Mid notes: Manoi, banana, solar jasmine, and then base notes: sandalwood, vanilla, and sun-kissed amber. It's kind of light and sugary as a banana scent. It's really good. Really like this one. And then last here is Night Boss, which also has like brown sugar, caramel, pear, vanilla orchid, jasmine, dahlia, amber, musk, sandalwood. So again, hitting some of those more gourmand, you know, sweet notes. The caramel in here is very yummy. I think that's definitely a key note in this fragrance. It reminds me a bit of Queen's Caramel that's come out from Ellis Brooklyn, a little bit of Bianco Latte as well. Like, it's in that family. So I don't know. I just like trying out the new fun scents that they come out with. I just hate the rollerballs. We've talked about it, but I thought I would just share those in here. Why not? It was a big collective video. Okay, I've done a little touching up. I feel like I've been here forever, but we're finally moving on to body mist. I'm gonna start with the Philosophy body mist because I've definitely been getting some questions from you guys about these, and I've had them a little bit. These were sent to me, and by far out of the three, Vanilla Hug is my favorite. I actually quite like this. Every time I put this one on, I always think that it would pair really nicely with Mochi Milk from Dead Cool. I'm not saying they're dupes exactly, but something about those two vanillas feel like similar to me. It's definitely sweet, but it does have like a more full-bodied kind of scent cloud around it that's nice. I mean, in some ways kind of a basic vanilla, but also pretty good. Like, I definitely don't mind it. This has notes of delicate freesia, vanilla, and warm woods in the base. Not groundbreaking, but also not bad. I enjoy it. It's like a solid, easy reach kind of vanilla. My least favorite is the Coconut Rush. I don't find myself reaching for coconut heavy or specific fragrances. I have talked about some perfumes that feature a note of coconut, and I don't necessarily mind that, but when it's like more the focus, it's just not quite my favorite. And this coconut's kind of weird. It almost smells almondy to me. So notes on this: zesty mandarin, creamy coconut, and vanilla in the base. I'm glad that this wasn't a beachy coconut by any means, but again, just something about it comes across like synthetic almond, cherry, coconut, vanilla, and it's just not my favorite. So I didn't love this. And then for Pistachio Paradise, to me, this pistachio is one of those kind of like chocolatey pistachios. Yeah, it comes across chocolatey with a little bit of like a spice going on. It's nutty as well. I mean, if you love pistachio, could be one to check out as a body mist. I just think when it comes to pistachio, I'm not gonna lie, like, I'm just kind of over it a little bit. Like, personally, I know a lot of people feel that way about vanilla. I will never get tired of the vanillas. But the pistachios, I don't know. It's just not a scent profile I'm as drawn to anymore. Not a bad version of it at all, though. If you want something that's a little bit richer, definitely that nutty pistachio almost comes across, again, to my nose a little chocolatey. For the notes, though, pistachio flower, creamy cinnamon milk, and warm vetiver on this one. I get that vetiver, too. Not bad, but I'm over pistachio. I feel like the wear time on them is pretty standard for a body mist. Like, you know, no complaints necessarily there. I feel like overall, though, kind of a mid-launch, but I was really excited and I was really hopeful for these. I think just in terms of scent, they could have been a little more unique, and also just even design-wise, they kind of remind me of like a version of the Phlur ones, and I wish that they kind of stood out on their own a little. Okay, a gourmand body mist that's definitely at the top of my list. You guys have heard me talk about it. The Grinch and Kitsch collab for Whoville cookies, guys. please. This has a note of buttercream in it, so it kind of has that custardy buttercream kind of thing that I like in fragrances. It's icing, it's sweet, it's so good, and it's so funny. Every time I wear this, my husband will be like, ooh, you smell good. And now the joke is, Whoville cookies. I smell like Whoville cookies because sometimes I feel absolutely ridiculous when I have things like the Grinch Whoville cookies, but I like genuinely love the smell. Or in my shower, I have the Lush Minions body wash that's like banana, and I love the scent of it, but I'm like, I have Minions and the Grinch going on, but I like what I like when it comes to scent. You know what I mean? I do, and this one is so freaking good. Really, really love it. If you're a big gourmand lover, I think you're really gonna like this one. The notes I can get on this: buttercream, caramel, vanilla, and a toasty tonka bean. Just trust me, so good. If you like the warm sugar scent from them, I think you're also gonna like this one. It's a little more foody, but not overly done. It's nice and airy still, light, so good. Now with that, they also released a new vanilla. I think they might even have a few other fragrances I haven't smelled from them, but this one is rustic vanilla. I definitely want to get my nose on that because that warm sugar scent from them, I absolutely love as a vanilla. I've already used mine up. So I was hopeful rustic vanilla would be something I'd like, but I don't love this one as much. There's like a masculine spice that comes off in this that is just not my favorite, and then it kind of goes into the sugary coconut vanilla to me. There's no coconut listed. These are the actual notes: tobacco in the top, cognac, vanilla in the mid, tonka bean, cedarwood, and vanilla in the base. I don't know, and then that coconut kind of switches to spit too. Like sometimes the vanillas get weird with me and they get a little spitty. I don't know what that is. There's no amber, and I feel like sometimes it's the way the amber is, but yeah, don't love rustic vanilla. If you have a similar taste in vanillas to me, I don't know if this is going to be for you, but if you do want a more like deep vanilla or something with a few masculine touches, something that's like maybe even a unisex vanilla, it could be one to check out. But by far I recommend warm sugar in the regular line, or I'm telling you, the Whoville cookies. Okay. Whoville cookies, who knew? I think this is the last of the PR that I've gotten in terms of body mist, and this one's from Too Faced. It's their Fairy Bomb, and this is part of their holiday collection, I guess, and they describe it as a sparkling gourmand, but do not be fooled, okay? This is more floral. The keynotes on this: crisp fruits, soft petals, warm woods. Where is the gourmand in those notes? Tell me, please. As for scent though, look at that, it just curled up and died. This is not working. I feel like this is a mix of something quite light overall, to be honest. Like there's nothing even that distinct in it. I don't know if it's just how well blended it is, but it's kind of just a fruity floral, but again, so light. Like not enough power in this at all. I also feel like as much as the bow is cute, something about the way the packaging's done, like it's giving me flashbacks to working at Justice Just for Girls. I was a manager there for like 5 years, okay? R.I.P. to Justice. But anyway, I just felt like the way the scent was done, the way the packaging was done, I'm kind of like, who is this for? Like what age group is this for? Because, you know, don't get me wrong, like I'm over here talking about the Squishmallows, and I would wear like Sol de Janeiro stuff, and I feel like tweens are into those too, or like a younger audience is into those, but I just feel like scent-wise, packaging, I'm like, Too Faced, who is this for? Why? Why did we get this? I think they should have done a vanilla. Like, it feels like the obvious choice, but also like obvious in a way that's like, duh, it's gonna make money and be so good. Like, just do a vanilla. This was weird. Sorry to say. I wanted to like it, but no. Back on track with some good smelling body mist though. I did pick up one of these small size of the Fenty Vanilla Flowers scent. There's like a bunch of body care that came out, and of course I wanted to try the vanilla. It's very good. It's one of those very close to the skin, kind of gives you that bubble of a vanilla. It's not overly sweet. It's right in the middle. It's their version again of Phlur Vanilla Skin, and kind of gives me some mochi milk as well, like if those two came together, because to me Phlur Vanilla Skin is like a woody, peppery, airy vanilla. Like it really sits in the air in a way that doesn't form a cloud, whereas mochi milk more forms that like scent cloud around you. This gives more of the scent cloud. I don't get too many florals really from this though. It really just smells like a soft skin scent vanilla. Very nice, kind of basic, but I feel like every brand should kind of have a nice, good vanilla in their line, and I think this was a great release. I think a lot of people are gonna like it, and I don't think you need to be into like gourmands and like foodie scents to like this vanilla, which I think is a nice kind of middle ground. You just kind of have to decide how many vanilla body mists you might want. Like, don't get me wrong, I kind of like them all as long as they're good, but if you only want a few, I don't know if it's going to be a must-have for you if you already have vanilla body mists you love. Which brings me to Victoria's Secret. They have been launching so many vanillas. I'm like tempted again, even though this is the thing with Victoria's Secret body mist. I feel like I try a lot of them and a lot of them don't stick. They don't stay around and really become loves, but there's like those few that do, that have me coming back. And also they've really been getting into the vanillas and the gourmands lately, between the regular Victoria's Secret line and the pink line. So they just have so much right now. Let me know if you'd be interested in hearing my thoughts on them or not. But all that to say, they sucked me back in again, and I really wanted to try the Bare Vanilla Brulee scent. They tend to come out with like Bare Vanilla, Love Spell, those ones, and then they come out with versions of them, and this is the Brulee version, which with notes of creamy vanilla and toasted marshmallow I was very excited about. But I will say I do like this, and I've worn quite a bit. I feel like my dent's down to here. I've had this one a while, but there's something almost kind of citrusy, or like not even actually a citrus fruit, but more how I smell it comes across as like citric acid in the fragrance. I know that doesn't, well, I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm telling you, where is the ooey gooey marshmallow? I'm not getting that when I smell this. It dries down and it turns more vanillic and sweet, and it's nice, don't get me wrong, but there's just something about the tang that happens to be in this fragrance to my nose that every time I wear it, and again, I've worn it a lot, I always go back to it and it's still there every time. I'm hoping I get used to it and I never do. So I really wish that wasn't in here, and then I think it'd be really great. I'm still just so in love with the Bare Vanilla Daydream scent. I finished that one up, so good. And I'm telling you, for me to use up a full, like a big ass 8 fluid ounce body mist when I have the collection that I do, when I'm testing what I do, it's pretty huge. And honestly, my love for that one is what makes me come back to the Victoria's Secret body mist. But this one doesn't hold a candle to that Bare Vanilla. It's okay, but not my favorite iteration. I also got sucked into this cherry milkshake one. I just thought it looked so cute, and I don't know, the idea of the cherry but maybe something a little bit more creamy intrigued me. This has notes of sweet cherry glaze, vanilla marshmallow, and a cherry on top. It's just a cherry, guys. It smells good. It smells like a nice cherry. It's not, again, too medicinal. I'm happy about that. Kind of gives like cherry Jolly Rancher, so definitely candy, not marshmallow, not milkshake to my nose, like at all. I mean, I guess it could be a sharper cherry, so maybe that's the softness coming in, but yeah, it definitely doesn't give cherry milkshake. It gives cherry Jolly Rancher. Not bad if that's what you're wanting, but don't be fooled by the milkshake on this one. I can't believe I'm waiting this long in the video to talk about this release, because I think it's one of the most exciting Bath & Body Works releases that have happened in so long. And this is the Milk Bar collab. I did a whole short talking about all of these fragrances, so you can check that out. But I do have some more refined thoughts, and if you just want to know my number one, you guys, this cereal milk soft serve is so good. I'm obsessed. Let's just say this past weekend when the body mists were $5.95, I definitely stocked up on this one because it is a limited collab, and I think they did such a good job with this one being a toasty, vanilla, milky kind of fragrance that definitely still has the like cornflake thing going on. Like there is that happening, but it smells still so good. Like I wear this, and again, my husband likes this one too. He didn't know what it was because I was like, if he knows what this is, I don't think he'll like it, but when he just smells it in the air, he's like, that smells so good. I'm like, cereal milk soft serve, so freaking delicious. It also reminds me a lot of like a Captain Crunch cereal in milk because it's buttery and toasted, and it's that corn, but it's sweet and vanillic, and it's just really, really good. I think it was done really well for being a little bit of a weird vanilla. It still very much works, and let's just say it smells just as good in the candle, you guys. I burned this last night. It smelled so great. It has notes of soft ice cream, golden cornflakes, and frosted sugar, okay? This scent also reminded me a lot of the kind of summer boardwalk scent that they do, like one of those really rich, again, kind of buttery vanillas that can come out, and I really like it. I also have it in a hand wash. I'm telling you, I got the full size of the mist because I'm already making a dent in this mini, so I'm highly, highly into the cereal milk soft serve. It's the one I recommend. It's my personal number one. Very, very good. But to be honest, the rest of the line is really great as well. My second favorite is the Milk Bar birthday cake. This one to me does come across like a birthday cake vanilla, but this one to me isn't as rich and kind of buttery as some kind of cake batter scents can go. It's a little more powdery and like almost kind of waxy to me, but a nice vanilla nonetheless. I do quite like it. I also tried this one in the candle as well, and it's burned really great. I do like it. Has great scent throw. Mallow. The notes they have on this: layered vanilla cake, creamy frosting, rainbow sprinkles. I think that is all there, but again, think of that all in a very waxy way. A solid vanilla. I don't know if I'm gonna get like backups on the candle. Like that's how you know if I really, really love it, but a really nice one. Definitely enjoying it. And I'm telling you, the other scents are great too. Peppermint bark truffle. This is a mint chocolate scent. Very good, very rich, very specific as well. Like only you can decide if you want to smell like chocolate and mint, but I think it's done really well if you do. This one has notes of peppermint chocolate cake, crushed candy cane, and white chocolate. Another one more at the top of my list, and I know a lot of you guys really enjoy it too, is the cinnamon sugar pretzel cookie. That was so difficult for me to get. This one, the cinnamon's pretty strong on it, and I do get something kind of bready, like a pretzel or some kind of treat. I still don't get like a crunchy pretzel. I do get something a little bit softer, but it's a pretty good one, and I feel like way more wearable than you might expect actually on this one. Notes: toasted pretzel, cinnamon dusting, and sugared vanilla. And then last year, another one that I know a lot of you guys are enjoying, the raspberry holiday pie bar. This one, as much as it has like a sugar cookie and the raspberry jam, I do get just a really fruity yet kind of tart jammy scent from it overall. Like not as much of the cookies coming through, but it's enough that it doesn't make it straight up fruity. And I'm telling you, there's something very authentic about the way that that initial spray comes off with the jam. Like it's not just a regular raspberry scent. So I think all of them are worth checking out. I bought these minis in a set that I thought was a great deal, and if you're wanting to try them, that could be a good way to kind of test and see which ones your favorite are. Or if you're looking for holiday gifts, I thought it would be a really great way to gift some body mist, like just a cute packaging and all of that, if you found someone in your life who would want the Milk Bar collaboration. So very, very happy with this collab. I thought it was so fun, so festive, and just personally, since I do love Milk Bar so much, like I've been to the one in Vegas, I've been to the one here in LA, I was particularly interested in this one, and I'm so glad it delivered. The last body mist I have here is the Bratz and Boy Smells collab. I just had to get this. I had to try it. I think there's like a cinnamon one out in the body mist that I'm like interested in as well. I'm telling you, with the rebrand that Boy Smells has done and like all the launches, they are like out there. They're doing stuff. Anyway, this is a very interesting one. I feel like if you like this, you're gonna like Powder Love, okay? Because this is very much that diaper bag to me. Okay, no offense, I'm just telling you what I smell. I cannot do these test strips, you guys. They're like becoming suctioned to my nostrils. I cannot. Anyway, this is definitely more of a powdery vanilla, and that's because this is meant to have like a plastic doll kind of scent. I think it's called, yeah, Doll Skin. That's the name of this, so that's what they were going for, and I do think they accomplished it, and I do enjoy fragrance as a story, as a way to like paint a picture, and so as much as I obviously love wearing my perfumes and wanting to wear them, I also can appreciate them for kind of these other elements that they have, you know what I mean, of storytelling and just fun and all of that. So that's what this kind of falls into. Like, I don't regret it, but overall, just kind of a fun idea and collab if you're gonna do a collab, you know? But in terms of wearing, this is not necessarily a scent I'm gonna be spraying on me and going out personally. Okay, my camera's about to die, so I'm quickly gonna talk about the Mornings at Levain candle, and I was very excited for this. I love Levain, I love Snif. I have a coupon code with Snif as well. If you're ever shopping, you can use my code Lauren10 to save money. And this was supposed to be like the mornings at the bakery, getting it ready. I think it was fashioned after their walnut chocolate chip cookie, which is not my personal favorite. If you're gonna go to Levain, get the double chocolate peanut butter cookie, I think it's called. Let me look up the exact name. My personal favorite is the dark chocolate peanut butter chip cookie. Oh my gosh, you heat that thing up in the microwave a little bit. Ooey gooey, so freaking good. Anyway, this was fashioned after a different cookie. The notes on this: Levain cookie accord, sea salt, cocoa resinoid, chopped walnuts, creamy organox, fluffy musks. And I will say this is more of like a realistic take on a cookie. Like, it really smells like you're baking, but not in that overly sweet, almost kind of Bath and Body Works way that they could have done this candle. And so if you're expecting Bath and Body Works, it might be disappointing to you. But if you want something that's a little bit more reserved, but definitely still a gourmand, don't get me wrong, I think this might be one for you to check out. For me, it kind of lies in the middle. Like, I love this collab. I'm glad to have bought it. I purchased this myself, and I think it was done really well. But at the same time, not that I'm disappointed, because I'm definitely not, but I don't like need a backup of this. I'm not like obsessed with it. I'm just gonna use it and enjoy it, and once it's gone, it'll be gone type of thing. So I know that's maybe not the most helpful review, but I think it's more know who you are. If you really love gourmands and you love all the stuff at Bath & Body Works, I don't know if this is going to be worth the price difference for what you could get at Bath & Body Works in terms of also intensity. But if you're like, I don't really like this stuff at Bath & Body Works, but I would be interested in a gourmand cookie sweet scent that's not like too much, I think this could be the one for you. Okay, that's my thoughts on it. Okay, I can't believe I forgot to talk about this new Savant candle. This is Snow Gazer, and it's one of the new scents for the holidays, which I believe just launched on their website. I also do have a code with the new Savant now, so you can use that to save money. It's Lauren15. This has notes of hojicha, freshly baked cookies, frothed milk, black sesame, warm lamplight, and this is basically like a sweet cookie gourmand scent. I also get something a little sugared, a little toasted, and I do get cookies. It kind of reminds me of the Levain, but with like an added toasted coconut or something. That's how it comes across to my nose. It's another great cookie scented candle if you're looking for one for the holidays. Of course, though, like I've said, let me know any of your thoughts on these fragrances or candles or perfume mist, whatever it is. If you tried them out, I would love to know. I also would love to know what fragrances you've tried that maybe I didn't include. And especially if you love them and I should get my nose on them, let me know. I love trying new things out and finding new favorites. I'm gonna leave you with the top 3 though, because this was a lot of information and a lot of perfumes, but these by far are my top 3 that I'm like, I'm gonna go through. I'm like obsessed with them. And I think they were great additions even within my huge collection. So I have the Vanilla Powder Extrait, obsessed. Really, really love this. And then I got my 2 body mists here, Cereal Milk Soft Serve and Whoville Cookies from Kitsch and the Grinch. These 3 are my faves, guys, okay? What can I say? I love to be bougie, and I also love me some Whoville cookies and Cereal Milk Soft Serve, okay? It's just who I am. I'm a little bit of both. Anyway, thanks for being here, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.